Let the boy try along this bayonet blade, how cold steel is, and keen with hunger of blood, blue with all malice like a madman's flash, and thinly drawn with famishing for flesh. Lend him to stroke these blind bullet heads, which long to muzzle in the hearts of lads, or give him cartridges of fine seeing teeth, sharp with the sharpness of grief and death. This poetry was written by Wilfred Owen, a poet and a soldier in the Great War. In this work of poetry, Owen is talking about the boys of the Great War, the boys who signed up to fight for their country, the boys who had no clue for what they were signing up for. A campaign was set in 1914. It would grab the attention of many men in Britain. It was to recruit men into the army for the war. The campaign consisted of posters of Lord Kitchener, the British Secretary of War, pointing his finger and saying, "Your country needs you." This would go on to convince many men and boys under the age of 19 to join the army. One of these boys was Tommy Gay.
I had to go in the army because Lord Kitchener, he put a poster on the wall and it said, "We want you, we want you." When we went to the door, the man said, "Oh yes, you're just the lads we want." And I was 16 when I had to go in the army, but I said I was 18.
Why did so many of Britain's boys want to fight? Many boys wanted to fight for their country. They were patriotic, filled with the pride of their country and wanting to stand for that pride. Some boys wanted the adventure joining the army would bring to them. They wanted to be part of the excitement of the war. For other boys, their life was lived in hard conditions where joining the army would provide a new beginning for them, a better chance at life than they were having at home. In all, these boys felt they were ready for the war. These boys had to go through the recruitment process. The recruitment officers would often turn a blind eye to the cases of boys signing up. Officers were paid for every man they recruited. For each recruit they were paid 2 shillings and a sixpence. Part of the recruitment process was a medical examination. This examination was purely to make sure the men were in shape enough rather than old enough. The requirement was to be 5'3". The man would also have to have the chest size of 34 inches, making it easy for a teenager to join. The official government policy to sign up, a man had to be 18. A man would have to be 19, however, to fly overseas. Birth certificates were rare in the early 1900s, making it easy for someone to lie about their age to join the army. Many boys would falsify their information to join, not only lying about their age, but their names as well. The boys who went into the war experienced what any man would face in the war. As 16-year-old Abby Bevenston wrote to his mother back home in Britain, "Dear Mother, I've been in the trenches 4 times and come out safe. We're down at the trenches for 6 days and then we get relief for 6 days rest. Dear Mother, I do not like the trenches. We're going in again this week." In 1916, an arrangement was made that if the parents could prove their sons were underage, they could ask for them back. The thing was, many of the boys who signed up used a different name than the one given to them, making it impossible for them to be tracked down and be brought home. Many of the 2,500,000 boys who joined the British Army would not make it back home. They would be buried in the Commonwealth War grave cemeteries. The gravestones would not bear their real names, but the names of which they signed up. The ages on the graves would not show just how young they were when their lives were taken from them. These boys fought for their country and died defending it.